Welcome back to the Twitch Rivals Super Team Showdown, where 4 super teams are vying for glory throughout the day. We're just getting started, and we're going into our second round of Fortnite action, and the first of 4 huge titles will be played today. We have a lot of games that are going to be played out here today, Sancho. I can't wait. We got League of Legends, we have Valorant, and we have Fall Guys too. That on top of this insanity with Fortnite, it's a recipe for success.
You know what? And so far, the opening ingredient for Nikkei 30 and the trio was that victory royale at the very end. That netted them the max points of 4. And again, rounds 1, 2, and 3, you're only get 1 point every time you advance. After that, it goes 2 times in round 5 and then triple in that final round. So it's going to be so interesting how it all unfolds here. And already looking really good now. This is a little taste of Retail Row.
I'll see what they end up putting together here. And taking a look at some of the kits that we're seeing from our competitors, we got the funny enough Iron Man with the Unibeam. Sorry, Wolverine with the Unibeam. That does crack me up. What's really funny, though, is that you're seeing a lot of our competitors actually use the same outfits. And the reason being is because if someone is one shot, you can't just call like, oh, you know, X person is one shot. Because then if you say Wolverine is one shot, you call the outfit. You're not really going to have a lot of luck there, Sancho, because everyone's a Wolverine here.
And we saw that was enabled to like Ninja to avoid that fire in the semifinals for that brief moment here. But now we're on board here with Bonsai Bros. As I mentioned, if you ever check out Bonsai Bros, you definitely check out that Twitch extension. Ooh, nice one right there. Is that actually Lechi, Mr. Savage, and Benji? The battle is going down, and Nikkei 30 it does not have the tiebreaker, but wow, the EU invasion. They already had a big showing in the DreamHack duos, and now the EU is not here to play. Hey, they were on the first page there, Benji's trio, and Benji's trio did really well in the FNCS, so they're looking out for, you know, to get that bag.
Yeah, you know, if you see Benji and those 2 players on the other side of the field, that you're going to be concerned about it. And right now, this is not looking like a strong start here for the Tank Super Team, as they're dealing with a lot of pressure here from Benji Fishy and company.
Yep.
They're actually going to be leaping on top of the mountain. Bear in mind, though, you got Punisher was putting some shots forward. Might actually have been able to have a target dangerously low there. Nikkei 30 with the Wolverine claws trying to just make us some ground and get up close and personal. He's going to be using that trademark fish, but it's going to be fried fish there, unfortunately, as Benji is going to get blown up by that Doom Arcane Ball.
Man, and you're already seeing right here, Nikkei 30's trio already pulling away, and look at it, Benji on the bottom right of your screen, representing NRG. Benji, Lechi, and Mr. Savage finished 8th place in the FNCS trios. It was a big performance for them, and of course, Savage celebrating his birthday a couple days ago, so happy belated birthday to Savage. We've got a couple of people celebrating their birthdays here on the GlitchCon stage shortly, but Nikkei 30 having himself a fiesta, but he has a problem here with the minute left. It's tied up, and you already know it. HP is going to be a huge advantage going forward here.
Oh, man. And the flaw with the Wolverine claws is that you have to make up that ground, get up close. And once any kind of focus fire starts to be laid off on you, there just really isn't much you could do. So now we're getting into some real dangerous territory here. But a huge Unibeam there from Punisher is going to be enough to get them to 7th elimination. 30 seconds remaining. Can they do it? Can they find one more Elim? Because even though it is tied, the first Elim advantage will go to Benji Fishy and his team. We have an invited team here clashing against our super teams. There goes another elimination. One more potentially in front of him. Oh no, Punisher's going to be in a world of hurt. Needs to bail out of that one. But the Elim comes through 9 and 10, and that is basically going to be curtains here unless they can manage to just drop 2 massive Elims. I just do not see this one happening here. And there you have it. Mr. Savage, Benji Fishy, and Lechi are going to walk away in the round of 16 as your winners.
Yeah, you hear the crowd there a little bit upset there. Big upset, Benji, Savage, and Lechi coming in from the invited trios and upsetting the super team of the Tanks. They become the Tank Buster in that ride. And now we have a couple of our invited teams colliding with our Road to GlitchCon team. So now it's a battle between Nate Hill and Benji Fishy.
Obviously, you know, in discussing that elimination, that knockout from the bracket for the Tanks, that opens up the GOATs. We don't know how they're doing, but that opens up the GOATs to be able to come back into this fight. You know, they're not out of it. That was only one round of competition.
True.
But there's still so much left to play here. So Nick and his squad getting eliminated that early could be a problem as we go into those later rounds.
And Nate Hill was able to get a couple of points, so he was on that top 5 board right there. So, hey, the way it's going to work here, there's 2 storylines going. We got a sub-arcing, huge, mega, MCU type of long movie storytell of the super teams. And then we have here the battles of our lobby teams that are competing for $99,000. So it's going to be that lion's share that Nate Hill has his eyes on. And he's doing really well with his trios. And already we're going to see, I'm interested to see what's happening on the other side of the bracket. And like you mentioned, can that GOAT, can
they fight their way back in?
Can they fight their way back in? They got a goose egg. I don't know what happens when a GOAT lays a goose egg, but does it turn into a GOAT? I'm not a scientist.
We'll have to. Yeah, I'm not. Neither am I.
Neither am
obviously. But you know what though? It's always fun to watch Leshy, Benji, and Mr. Savage. They're kind of like scientists with the way that they play this game.
Oh yeah.
Some of the best Fortnite players in all of Europe, but a big first elimination there.
That's big.
Massive for Nate Hill and his team, as they'll lock that one down and they'll get that elimination advantage in the instance it goes to a draw.
Yeah, now you're taking a look here. I mean, everyone knows Nate Hill from the old school days, especially, doing up with Funk Bomb way back in those skirmishes days. And Nate Hill is just one of the OGs. And he's always been kind of floating around the Fortnite scene. Comes in there, competes in the trios, competes in the duos, not afraid to compete here. And Twitch
4-0.
Oh my goodness, are you serious? 4-0?
4-0 currently in favor of Nate Hill.
Wow.
Finally, they'll get that first elimination. You just can't regen HP fast enough. But what Nate Hill and this team have been doing is once they know they have a target on white damage, they actually do a double pounce and they put pressure, forcing that player to have to call his teammates. Once he falls, then they could just start working around that. And the third guy's always kind of like playing around the outskirts. I think they have a unibeam set up too, so they have a lot of utility to be able to get even more eliminations.
What's interesting is Nate Hill, of course, plays 4th place in the FNCS squads with Ninja, Reverse, and Funk. So, hey, they all know each other, and we kind of mentioned that. It's like Booga was talking about they played with friends. Everybody here knows what they can do, but the question is, can Nate Hill's trio advance? And they're looking really good. I mean, hey, I know Benji, Savage, and Letchy, they're off ping. Let's be real. They're playing all the way across the pond. In this kind of mode, do you need to have 0 ping or close to it? No, but it helps.
It certainly does, and what doesn't help is being down to just 6 HP here for Letchy. That is brutal, but he's still actually going to be putting damage forward to try and just change the tide of this battle in their favor, maybe open up something for his teammate.
What's so interesting as well, in the FNCS trios, Letchy, Benji, Savage, this was their home, Doom's domain. They lived and breathed it. They know every ounce, but when it comes to Marvel Knockout, all the rules are off the table, everything's flipped over, and they're trying to make a push here. But this may be the only time we see Benji, Savage, and Letchy here at the GlitchCon, but hey, shout outs to Letchy for signing with G2. Congratulations to you, and of course, happy belated birthday to Savage.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a sour party there because they're getting dominated as it currently stands. Not a shocker. We have been praising Nate Hill and this team when we saw them in the road to GlitchCon. And again, they're playing for the money. They're not playing for the points. We already saw Nick A30 be eliminated, and that means no points for the tanks, which is brutal for them. But a big win there. Now we're going to be going into... this could be a problem here. But hey, I still think Nate Hill, Yuzi, and Skivix could very well come on the top. They do such a good job of disengaging from fights when they know that they're going to be in a bad spot that it's tough for any team to try and push their advantages against them because they're so good at disengaging.
You want to talk about tough? Commandment Synth and Edgy, they had a crazy comeback in the road to GlitchCon. All of a sudden, like, they were out, not even here. They weren't even supposed to be here, and they just showed up and showed out. And they had a strong performance to the FNCS Trios, coming into second place.
Wow.
So Nate Hill has a tall order to overcome if he wants to get that line share of the $99,000. But so far, the comms have been clean, the communication has been clean, the combos have been clean. You know, it's like you're just walking outside with your fresh sneakers and it's all white. And that is right now, Nate Hill walking out with a fresh pair of sneakers.
Well, hey, they also, if I recall, they played against each other in the final.
I believe so.
Yeah, it was a final match, and it was Nate versus Commandment's team. And I think, like, you know, that was nutty because we saw Commandment, as you mentioned, right, just manage to bring themselves back into this because there's a lot of money at play here. Yeah, you know, there's a larger prize pool for the super teams that are participating in this, but you know, for what's going on here, was it $99,000 or something like that? I mean, that's just absurd amounts of cash to play. And then let's not forget that we're also going to be seeing this, you know, coming up very soon with that $1 million tournament where you're going to have a mixture of all of this plus the Battle Royale experience for Fortnite that you know and love.
It's going to be crazy. That Marvel Super Cup is going to be a duos. They've already had a duos Marvel LTM. They had it for the Black Widow Cup. Very different game playing with duos versus trios, but that's going to be another tale as we're on board with Commandment, Edgy, and Scented. Again, the FNCS trios coming in second place for NA East, looking really good. Hey, that Slurp Truck, actually, you could get some nice HP. It's a little bit, and looks like they're going to try to cut it off.
They're going to get it.
Ooh, the splash.
That's rough. When you just get all of that additional shields, and then it just dissipates in a matter of seconds because of that arcane bomb that was probably the most perfect. And another 90 on that arcane. That is ridiculous. I mean, Commandment's hitting these like just from the distance. I think it's very appropriate to say Kobe. That was very well done.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, if you want to, you could kind of represent the Bay Area with the Splash Brothers coming in hot.
Nice.
Now this is going to be an opportunity here. This is a hot game. I know it's intense. No one is scoring right here. 0-0. So this Elim is maybe the one because it's going to be double, and there it is. It actually goes to Nate Hill's trio. So that's big. Now, hey, all the HP has been kind of doled out. I think shields are gone. So now a minute 20. Bang! Beam, baby.
Yeah.
Nate Hill gets disintegrated right before our eyes.
Massive elimination is going to keep them competitive in this one. Commandment does recognize an opportunity to go in for the push. He's been just really incredible with those arcane bombs, but while that's going on, he's actually going to be taking some incoming fire from the other side. What makes this area near Salty Springs so difficult to play around is look at how much open terrain is here. Yeah, you might be able to play on the trees, but the trees are burning currently, so like there's just nothing that you could really do. You're really just looking at your opponent and just slinging you know, mud balls at each other the whole time.
Man, I've competed in the Ghost Rider Cup, I competed in the Daredevil Cup, I competed in the Wild Wednesday, I competed in the Black Widow Cup. I want to see some God ramps. You have 100 builds. It comes back after you've been eliminated. Build that God ramp. It could be a single one, doesn't have to be fancy, and rain down terror with Dr. Doom's Arcane Gauntlets as we're coming down to the final moments. Nate Hill has the tiebreaker and the one Elim advantage, throwing down the mystical bomb at his feet. Ooh, here we go. Now they don't have the advantage. 15 seconds. Let's see who's going to be able to clutch up here for Nate Hill's trio. Now they're all back on board. Fooley's decked out.
Oh, that was big. That was big. They got to go for this one here. They know they have no other choice. They need to take this one out here. Can they do it? And they do it at the final seconds. But they have to hold on here, and they manage to do so at the last possible second. Nate Hill is going to the finals, and they'll be facing off against another God team in this Marvel Knockout LTM. Vivid, Who Fishy, and Chap, some OGs of competitive Fortnite.
Absolutely. You have Chap and Vivid, formerly of Liquid, now being on Cloud9. Cloud9 coming back into the Fortnite Pro scene. And the same thing as Vivid coming back now is a Fortnite Pro. We're talking about OG names competing with the new school of Who Fishy. Who Fishy around the Fortnite competitive scene has been a favorite of all the casters, and Who Fishy has some strong finishes. You know, Chap and Who Fishy weren't unable to make it to the grand finals of the FNCS trios alongside with Coop. But still, hey, when Chap's around, Chap will get a high placement finish. And now he has to do that against Nate Hill, who has been, I would say, the hot team right here going forward.
Well, let's not forget at the road to GlitchCon, the story really was about Who Fishy, Vivid, and Chap. That's all we were talking about. They were dominating, and it was not until Commandment and Nate Hill started to find a ton of success. That is when their stock went down. They were eliminated in the final game at the first round, and it was from Commandment was the one that handled that. So now this is kind of like back to the drawing board here for Nate Hill and his squad, because while Commandment, that's a formidable opponent, this team, they've shown that they're very good at this mode, and they've been putting in a ton of work in order to walk away with this cash prize.
And they got that first tiebreaker Elim, so they're looking good, feeling good, and we've already seen throughout the entire Marvel Knockout LTM here at GlitchCon how big it is to get that, because you're going to have those moments where it's going to come down to the last 5 seconds, and Chap's looking strong. And I kind of want to mention, you know, Chap throughout the entire community, everyone knew that Chap, hey, he could get into it if he qualifies. His average placement is 5th place or something like that. It's insane. So, hey, when you have Chap bringing in Vivid with Who Fishy, hey, you might be walking around with that line share, that $99,000. Hey, not to mention, 51 cents.
Yeah, and look at the scoreboard right now. It is 3-2. Oh, my goodness, just like that. It turned 3-3. That's crazy. The entire time, Vivid Chap and Ufishi had that advantage, and now it is gone. But the only advantage that they do still have was that first elimination. That's that red circle that's next to their name where it says 4. If they continue to hold that, they will win this game outright if it ends right now. That is the reason why you're going to see Nate Hill and his team really charge after them, because they need 2 eliminations versus just this, you know, the other team needing just 1 or just holding on, hold the wall, hold the door, you know?
Hold the door indeed. And you were taking a look at it. Chap's team has 4 points. Nate Hill team has 5 so far for the day. In the first 1 through 3 rounds, you only get doled out 1 point for every advancement into the bracket. So this is going to be a battle of essentially 1 to 2. We got to definitely take a look at that leaderboard to see. This is going to be one of those opportunities for at least Vivid Chap and Who Fishy to close the gap. But hey, that gap is getting close here. 7-6 with that nice elim against Vivid.
Yeah, what's becoming very difficult here for both of these teams is this open space. We saw Nate Hill have to deal with Commandment earlier in the last round. Open space is not your best friend. You want to try and get up onto that high ground there, but Chap is just going to use the She-Hulk gauntlets and just punch out his opponent in order for them to be able to get that 9th elimination. And this is basically looking like a GG here. I mean, I don't know. Can they manage to pull this one together? It's very possible. Plenty of time left. They have to do it right now, though, Sancho.
And you're seeing right here, this is going to be a huge opportunity for Chap to get back up here on that page. 8 teams so far, and here it is. Nate Hill, Tanks, Ducky, Chap, right there in 4th place. Metas, Aces, T-Sin Commandments, and Benji Fishy rounding out. But this is going to be big. Here we go with that huge 9-8. But you mentioned it was 9-6 just a moment ago. Now it's 9-8. Let's see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, remember that happened at the beginning of the game as well. They just need 1 more, and it's 9-9. Oh, man. This is it, folks. Boiling down to the final moments. They don't have that first elimination advantage, but they're keeping this one very close. 15 seconds remaining. Have they been able to stack enough of those eliminations to be able to get them that win? As only 10 seconds are going to be left on the clock. Who Fishy looking for the opening, the opportunity to try and get this elim. Can they find it in the final few seconds of this battle here? It's boiling down.
Oh, they did it! Whoa! Wow! Woo!
How do they manage? The last second they managed to put it together. I don't even know how that's possible. That's ridiculous. They've done this so many times now.
I tried to tell you. It literally comes down to those last 5 seconds. It's just a matter of being confident and having that gut instinct just to go all in. And sometimes you got to go all in when there's no HP advantage. And hey, Nate Hill, you already saw a peek of the leaderboard. No doubt they're number 1 right now.
Yeah, that is great for them, as they will be looking to walk away with the cash prize that is associated with this Marvel Knockout LTM. Man, that was sick. Honestly, I can't continue to praise Nate Hill enough. I mean, you know, he's obviously been in this scene for such a long time. He's been putting in the work for such a long time. But to see him just continue to be awesome, and no matter